when the new DLC came out, I felt as though this unit for the way kind of sucked. The Jianbei rider here, I didn't understand what its purpose was. And it was supposed to have an extra projectile, and I never really felt like it was there. Turns out it wasn't. They released it bugged, and there were a bunch of other extra projectiles that didn't work properly. And that has since been fixed. So in some testing and some games that I had seen, I then felt like, holy crap, that extra projectile is huge. And the Jianbei Raider, is, or is it a Raider? I think it's a Raider. Whatever it is, I thought it was overpowered. And then I told my Twitch chat that it was overpowered. And then ACCM proceeded to lose every single unit here on Arabia, or Arena, geez. And it looked really bad, and everyone laughed at me, and everyone said, "You're crazy." Well, here we have a game, guys, where I face up against the Jianbei. And it's funny because I already had downloaded a game or two featuring Survivalist that used the Jianbei. And here I was up against him. So here I am in the red. I'm playing as the Mongols. And then he is playing as the Wei. This is one of those games, one of those times. And this is normally the case against Survivalist, where I'm like, let's play one game before bed. And that's a bad idea against Survivalist because he never resigns or is just very hard to kill or both. So he's up against the Wei. Now, the Mongols probably don't need much of an introduction. They've got the hunt bonus at play. That's the big thing for their eco. Great cav archer units. Great cav units in general. Very aggressive civ. The Wei are a bit more of a slow cooker civ. Their eco bonus is very fun, in my opinion. They receive 1 free villager for each mill, lumber, and mining camp technology. So they're going to be up like a vill or two if they have the standard type of wall type game. And so, considering it was very late, and considering that as well, and also because I would say my strength, when compared to Survivalist, is probably just hitting the timings. I decided, let's not allow him to wall up and play defensive. Let's be as aggressive as possible. Now, I hadn't talked to him about it yet, but I asked, what are your thoughts on the Jianbei? Foreshadowing here. And he says, strong, be scared. Yeah, Survivalist, I already knew. I've watched a lot of your games and watched some other people's games with the Jianbei, so I already knew that unit, sneaky strong. I felt like the issue in the example I showed you with ACCM was that he didn't get to the mass. But the biggest reason, I guess I can spoil this ahead of time, that I thought that this unit was strong beyond the extra projectile is, where is it? Oh, Capture Age doesn't actually show it, but it is 20 gold. So it's 60 wood and 20 gold. Whereas a Cav Archer is 60 gold and like 40 wood. So it's really cheap. And you combine that with the civilization basically getting free villagers. It can be quite strong. So anyways, Mongols could usually go for scouts. And I thought maybe I could do that. But we're going to make it messy because it's midnight. And I want to get in this game fast. And here I come. I've got 3 militia. I'm going with 3 villagers. And Survivalist wants to come back home to push in these deer. It was kind of funny. I stopped him from pushing in the deer before. And now I see again he's trying to push in deer. And it's like classic Survivalist. He doesn't scout my opening at all. A lot of people on Arabia are like this, right? They don't scout the opening. They just assume the opponent's going to do one thing. And, well, sometimes not scouting can get you punished. And so he's just casually building his barracks on the front. And I'm in position here to get a villager kill. And obviously, I need that villager kill to be even. So the Jianbei can't get ahead with that extra vill later on. And very nice start for me. So I'm embracing my inner, I don't know, stray dog. Or whichever player you consider to be the best with forwarding. So, now this tower, I just wanted to take him up berries. I didn't want him to have food eco. I wanted him to have to farm super early and slow down his vill production. And I've got the archer range there as well, which he does see. He'll go for a range. He goes for a bunch of walls. He's got a very nice map to wall up here, in all honesty. And having the stone on the back is going to be quite nice for him. But this is a lot of pressure. So we're off to a good start. Now, managing our eco behind this is kind of difficult. I don't have double bid-axe. He got double bid-axe and horse color. So he's still a villager up because of the Wei bonus. And so that's why I wanted to kill so much. And that's why I wanted to be as aggressive as humanly possible here. So kind of tough for me. I didn't go to stone to have another tower prepped. So I'm still waiting on that. I'm going to wall in this tower. And I've got some archers, got some ranged units on the back here. Because I have scouted pretty thoroughly here. So I know he's got double wood line. I know he's got stone. I know he's got this gold. So, but I also know that he can tower. And so my thinking was towering the gold right now is not good. Because he can just counter tower with more vills. And then he's got a tower to protect his gold. So it's like, we wanted to force him to tower somewhere else. That way, then he can't tower his gold. Unless, of course, if he goes to stone. So, only one unit has died. No counterattack or anything from him. We haven't really been able to break him yet. Again, only 3 farms for me. So the eco's not great and still no bid-axe. But we're just about to get enough stone for another tower. And as he should be playing this, very defensive. He's up a villager. He should know that. There's no way that he could be behind on vills. Unless he had a lot of idle TC time, which... in all fairness, he's had. So at least we did force that. And now I place a tower here. This is actually so I could batter down his range. If he doesn't add this, I can take down his archer range. And he caught me sleeping here. He's got the scout, and he's attacking. And I really don't want to lose a villager here. And Nope, he's going to go back for it. He's going to go back for it. And bam! I don't lose the villager somehow. Also was looking here. So we're going tower v tower on this side. And that weak villager is going to go become a farmer. And that is probably the best spot for you, my dude. So yeah, a lot happening. A lot happening. We haven't been able to break Survivalist yet. And he's now on the gold. So now, again, just... You're thinking about forcing idle time even when you're down vills. My thinking was I have... Well, I guess these villagers are idle. But I have archers inside my tower and he's got mainly vills. So I think the logic is there. We're pushing down this tower and he's not mining stone yet either. So even repairing could be kind of awkward for him. So we're being annoying. As the Mongols are so good at. And then he repairs. Then he hops back inside. He's being stubborn with that tower. I've got some weak vills back here. And I'm going to reposition my army over to this gold. So no counterattacking from him. I'm still thinking about more farms to get resources for Castle Age. I still only killed 1 villager. Like, this is how, like, Survivalist's game plan usually is if he stays alive, if he doesn't take early losses, he's very dangerous in the later stages of the games. So I find him to be a really unique matchup for me because usually I'm kind of in the same department where the longer the game goes, the better it is for me. But against him, usually I'm more timing oriented. He's more like outlast me and stay alive for as long as possible. Okay, he's going to rush this down. He really doesn't want to lose this tower. So here he comes. Now, he rotates back the weak villagers. I've still got a little army over here, but I've got to bring... I'm thinking about coming over to support. My archers hop out. We did kill a villager at some point. The scout's also going to be coming. And he ends up taking care of that tower, also takes care of my scout. Still cooking here. Still cooking. Looking pretty good. Feeling pretty good about the situation right now. We're going to speed up ever so slightly. Obviously, I talked to you about kind of what the focus of this game is. So we're going to see how those Janbeis perform. And I think it's been a pretty good opening for us, honestly. We killed 2 vills. We've taken no damage at home. We got a little lucky on that 1 vill. Men-at-Arms are still posing a little bit of a threat here. I'm able to slightly disrupt his eco. Also, all this stone and gold isn't something that he can take long-term, so that's good for us. And now is when he sneaks away with the archers. And this is amazing if I have no defensive army. This is really the first thing that you should do the second you find a moment, of course. You know, when you're able, just get a counterattack in because they're not going to have any defense at home usually. My plan was to go for defensive towers, but I didn't have it in time. He kills 1 villager. And guys, this might be the sickest play I've ever had in my entire life. Okay? Yeah, this villager should be dead, right? And She survives. Okay, maybe not the best play I've ever had in my life, but the luckiest play is maybe fair. And then I lose an archer to the TC. But we saved our 3 villagers on the front. That's all that matters. And we're on the way to Castle Age. So, eco is a bit of a disaster right now. Villagers moving all around. And I get pushed off of gold. So, my eco stake felt as though going knights was probably best. Now, Mongols have faster attacking cav archers, so that would have been pretty fun to compare and go like CA versus the Janbeis. But you have to play to your situation. And so this, especially with the villagers still being forward and having this forward position, I felt like going like knights and siege could be a lot of sense to try and end this fast. So that was the thinking there. My base is like super open, which doesn't bode well for cav archers. And his eco is finally starting to balance out a little bit. He's got a lot more farms than me. They all have horse collar, 21 farms to be exact. And he does a smart thing here. He doesn't actually see that I'm going stables at all. But just a really good call. You're so close to being walled. Always full wall here. So the opponent can't like run in with a couple units and be annoying. So far, no real signs of what he's going to go for from my perspective. I'm obviously hoping to apply a lot of pressure. And now he knows that I'm going cav. Took me a little bit of time, but the knights are going to be here to clear this up. And once those archers are dead, I can go back to taking this gold. So we're doing a pretty good job. Does he get the weak villager there? Oh, what a snipe. What a snipe. It's been a couple weeks. I forgot about that. That's really well played. There's another one, too. Okay, thank God he didn't get the other one. That would have been embarrassing. So, like, this is a crazy timing advantage for me. Like, I would be completely dead in his scenario. There's so many knights. I've got Manganels on the way. I'm dropping the monastery, too, because I don't want him to add knights. His civ's a really good knight civ. I wasn't really thinking he would be on stone here. I think that this... You know, I just covered a game with a player who likes to go forward. And it's just now dawning on me, but pushing this position doesn't take him off of gold. Pushing this position, and well, you probably never see the game. I think if my Siege Workshop comes up on this side, this is his only gold. And then, yeah, this never comes to YouTube because it's game over and it's a bit of a wash. I'm just not really a tower rush forward type of guy. So the gold there, the gold's here. That's pretty obvious now that I look at it. So maybe a little bit of a mistake to push that position. Now, I thought he was going to go Janbeis because we talked about it, and I think the Janbei is really, really strong. He is going to make one of them. But then I saw the castle. I was like, oh, castle, that's interesting. And castle has already killed my monk, which is now great. And so now I'm in a weird predicament because I can't really break him. It's hard for me to justify a lot more army here. But then he can counterattack me and send units to my base at any point in time. So I have to respect that he might counterattack me. That's why I'm getting some walls up at this gold. And that's also why you see the town center come up. So definitely thinking about that. A couple archers from him are going to run forward. I like that. And I take down his archery range so far. So we could... I'm still hoping to push the TC. But God, the pathing was just awful here. We land an attack round, though. Our monk also is able to get... Wow, I don't get a conversion because I just got scammed. Okay. All right, that makes up for it. We kill the tiger cav. That's fine. And then the archers... maybe they kill the Vil. I missed that. But really tough areas to move around in right now. And I clicked my Manganels wanting them to go this way, and they path this way. And so... Oh, God. Yeah, reliving this is a nightmare. One of the Manganels goes down. What is that? The second one to die to the castle. And I'm just trying to get, like, to the front to hit the TC without that ranging me, basically. So, I didn't want to make knights and camels for too much longer. The plan was just to boom now, and the plan was Mangadai, which is obviously takes a lot of eco with the Mongols. You need a castle, and it's a lot more expensive than the Janbeis. And he, dropping triple range on the back... He's going to try and mass them now. And there's the first one. So you'll see when they fire, but they have like an extra volley on their first shot, and then it recharges. It's like a reload. So You know, that's what makes it unique. Basically, think about a kip check when you think of the Janbei. But in my opinion, it's a kip check. It's stronger than a kip check because you can make them out of an archery range. It'll be 55 HP once he gets bloodlines as well. Again, just imagine, if I siege push this side before he can build a castle, he would be off of gold. But I'm stuck here now. I'm committed. Maybe I could have moved around. I don't know. But I got a lot of vision here. I'm also, like, not focusing as much on that right now as I am on my eco. So getting eco upgrades. I was really paranoid about a counterattack. I thought that he was going to run in here at any time. And I knew there was going to be something more than Tiger Cav because he wasn't massing more in that castle, and I saw he had Bodkin Arrow. So here we go. It's a pretty cool army. It's like a full unique unit army, which is pretty rare. So here he comes. Has a 5 villager lead on me. And there's the Jean base. There's the first volley. Look at that, guys. Like, destroyed my monks instantly. And then you can see they should be recharging here, no? Yeah, you see the white bar? So it looks like half of them fired. And that recharge is pretty quick. So now they'll get that volley again. Now I have bloodlines and I have armor. And my camel just got insta-killed. And now he's kind of pulled my army away. I have to defend. And now he's dropping a castle here. And I just remember being like, man, how much eco does he have? Like, how? Like, I knew I had TCs faster than him. Res Collected's actually even right now. Here come the Jean Bays. They actually don't kill that monk. And I just want to get my relics back home if I can, because I put a relic there. I lose my forward villagers on the front. And we are chasing this unit down. Still no bloodlines for him. 1, 2, 3, and now a 4th town center for him. And he's going to drop the university for ballistics as well. Slowly, all my buildings on the front will go down. And he's got the benefit of being safe because he's got the castles. So I can't really do damage to him, and I now have to play defense. But this is rare, guys. I don't play into Mangadai that frequently. But it felt natural to do so. And I already built my castle. I built it here because I was worried he would move this to this position. And Mangadai are like the best Cav archer unit in the game in most people's eyes. So we talked about it in Dark Age. This is for content, baby. This is a test now. Like, what's better, Janbei with what they can do, or Mangadai? And we are still missing Wheelbarrow for our eco, but apart from that, our eco upgrades are still pretty solid. But he's getting additional builds for just getting these extra ones. It's actually quite nice, too, because I feel like people don't get the second gold upgrade and, like, the stone upgrade. They don't get that stuff early. And you're going to do that with this Civ. It's going to be more present on your mind to just spam those upgrades just because you want the free bills. I see his army coming through here, and I just can't believe how many he has. Like, it's a crazy number that he has here. And my mind is thinking we've got to like take this gold right now. I can't fight his army. So if you can't fight the army, you got to try and avoid the army, take a position away from him. And my plan was to build a castle here to just deny this gold. Again, there's something about this area I'm just completely scared of. As I rewatch this, should I have gone for the castle here? Maybe. Because he can't take this gold either then. I don't know. He's still going to have this gold. It's a bit of a tricky one. Generally speaking, if you're going to make your unique units, you probably shouldn't make forward castles. But when you're behind in a game, you want to do damage, right? And so that was my goal. And as you can see, we force a pretty decent fight here because he's engaging when he's not really, you know, he doesn't have any interest in being there. I did have to garrison this tower. I think I might have lost a couple villagers there. And we're still getting to the Mangadai mass. Now we got a second castle to produce the Mangadai. They produce very slowly, and you have to get to a castle, so that's tough. And Survivalist on the way to the Imperial Age with better economy. But I've got 10 Mangadai in queue. 10 Mangadai in queue. The Janbei is waiting around to see if I will pressure further. Here we push this back. So let's compare the stats. I've got 80 HP. He's got 55. He's got 5 base attack, but that first volley is like an extra projectile. It's a Isn't it a couple extra projectiles? Does it even show it for me? It's a little sad, but I think YouTube might even know a little bit more about this unit than me at this point in time. But look at the amount of arrows it fires. It feels like they've got crazy amounts. So my point is I think this might be better than Mangadai right now. Like, if the numbers are even, I think it might be better than Mangadai. Granted, I've got to get more upgrades for the Mangadai to be maxed out, but still. I'm going to get that armor upgrade now. And I'm dropping a third castle. I'm convinced that I need to keep hold of this gold. I didn't know he was on the way to Imp. Probably should have expected it. And again, I think this castle is just kind of questionable if I'm not on the way to the Imperial Age, because I'm going to need Trebs. I think maybe a castle on the left side of my base could have been a little bit better. But Survivalist is now waiting for traction Trebs. So the way can't make regular trebuchets. They can make traction Trebs. The thing about traction Trebs that makes them strong, it's 14 range, but you can produce them right when you make it to Imp. So the Shu also get them. The Wu also get them. In my opinion, traction Trebs are really, really strong. It's a bit confusing when you use them because you need more of them than you would, say, a Bombard Cannon to do lots of damage. But as my Knights get massacred there, and I see he's in Imp, and I'm a little bit worried. Yeah, he's going to make the traction Trebs immediately. So that Bombard Cannons, you have to wait for chemistry. Trebs, you need a castle. Traction Trebs, you literally just need the Siege Workshops. And guys, he's going to add a hero. Now, there was a lot of controversy when they announced they were going to have the heroes. I personally don't like them in the game. I still think it's silly. But I also can't change it. But people aren't facing up against heroes a lot because I think they're expensive. That's 1,000 resources right there. And the Way hero is, I think, one of the strongest ones. Where is it? Here we go. It increases the attack speed of nearby units. So it's not just the Jianbeis, but it's also going to be the attack speed increase. It's hard for Capture H to show the range, but imagine this giant circle here. So I'm still 90 seconds away from him. Now, I felt like I'd already lost this game. Sometimes I'm able to claw my way back because Survivalist is a little bit slow to mass up. He really likes to sit in his base. So we got some Vil kills over here. We're getting some Vil kills over here. We got Vil kills on the left side. So I'm like, okay, not bad. We got 3 relics back in our monastery too. And Meg and I have a bonus versus Siege as well. So I was thinking maybe I can get in close enough to these traction Trebs. Really think Survivalist could have been like moving units to the right and the left side and like denying resources from me. But he's going to try and max out. I'll keep my eye on that hero there. It also has 500 HP, by the way, regenerates, and is 14 base attack. It is a melee unit, though. Mangadai killed a couple more Vils. We've actually taken the villager lead. And Survivalist still just focusing to go for these castles. I'm obviously going to lose this castle. But I've been able to build 2 defensive ones. So I've got that going for me. And I kind of figured I was going to lose this castle as well. And I just had to give it up. And now I'm getting Elite Mangadai. I got Mingguang armor coming in now. So that gives all mounted units +4 melee armor, right? Yeah. So that doesn't really change any of these engagements, but that will apply to the Jianbeis. The Tuntian, I think, is soldiers just passively produce food. So that could add a little bit of extra eco. I've caught up in eco now, but now is when having these forward castles is kind of painful. Elite Mangadai's on the way. Parthian's on the way. Bracer's on the way. I believe Thumbring was researched as well. Please tell me I got Thumbring. Otherwise, it's not a proper test, and I did. So I'm about to have fully upgraded Mangadai, which is the perfect way to test this. A couple of his Tiger Cav getting some raids on the left side. But I still have my gold protected. I've still got a decent amount of res, and I've got this gold too. So I'm actually kind of getting to a point where I can max. And these Mangadai, again, this is seen as one of the most OP unique units in the game. We're going to get a test here to see how this goes. Now, there's no elite version for the Jianbei Raiders. So you're kind of stuck with this version. So obviously that makes them way stronger in Castle Age because they're really cheap. Yeah, now I've got to deal with this. And I was like, okay, let's see. Still waiting for chemistry to complete, and then we'll get a test fight. So let's actually pause and analyze this before the fight, shall we? We've got 32 Mangadai. It's about to be 32. 2,500 HP. He's got 2,200 HP on the Janbeis with 42 of them. So 42 versus 32. They're obviously the traction trebs. Let's track this. So they have 0 kills right now, and we can compare it after any engagement. Obviously, I need castles for my unit, right? Now, there's going to be hills involved. There's going to be a lot of different things at play here. And there's also the hero, which increases the attack speed. So there's a lot to pay attention to. But let's see how this goes. I basically am forced to fight because the traction trebs are there. I'm hoping to snipe some of the traction trebs behind it with my Mangadai. But it didn't really feel like I was really making all that much progress. And obviously, it's do or die for me here. At one point, I did attack the hero, and then the hero just tanked all the damage and is now regenerating. So that was a waste of damage output for me. So maybe that was a mistake. But we get completely and utterly cooked. I'm still trying to take that stupid hero, and we die. So he brought in some more Janbeis near the end there. This is obviously not a proper test. He also killed 7 units, it looks like, with the traction trebs. So it wasn't just the Janbeis. There was the hero. There was a lot of different things that he had. Ultimately, I think me losing my castles and me not having a little bit more time to mass up my Mangadai is what hurt me there. But it didn't seem like the Mangadai are what Mangadai normally seem like. Am I crazy? I mean, I think the Janbeis are good, man. I think they're good. I think they're good accompanied with the Wei eco. The Wei have good eco, smooth eco, and it's just 20 gold? I think what this unit could do for 20 gold is absolutely unreal. And I think in the future, this might even be nerfed a little bit up to like 30 gold or up to 35 gold. For the time being, I don't think there's many people that share the opinion that they're very strong. I have seen a lot of games where I feel they are, though. And so maybe people will start to spam these a little bit more. Just think Cav Archers, but way cheaper. But like a third of the gold. And also a little bit more devastating with that first volley. So I think if you look at it that way, they're very good. They are a little bit limited in HP maybe compared to a Cav Archer. But personally, I think it's one of the most slept on units in the game right now. Also, the Wei are very strong in late game too. If you combine that with Hussar, you basically have a very, very cheap army comp. And then you can save up gold to get the unique techs. Maybe mix in the hero here or there if you want to really make your opponent angry. So that's it for me, guys. I just wanted to show you guys this. Mangadai versus the Janbeis. I'm sure there are lots of examples where the Janbei looked weak, like in that game ACCM had versus Yo. But I think if you get to like 10 to 12 of them, you can really start to focus things down, and any counter can go down pretty quickly. Also have seen skirmishers even. Skirmishers do a lot of damage against them, of course, because this is a pretty squishy unit. But that first volley means that skirmishers go down much faster if the skirmishers don't have the numbers. So let me know what you think in the comments. Very fun unit to play, I think. A very fun unit to see active. It's actually one of my favorite additions to the game. The hero, where is he? Not sure about you, dude. Not sure if you should be in ranked. Not sure I'm in love with that idea. Not sure if my commenters agree. You do look cool, but yeah, that is not for me. But the rest of it, pretty cool Civ design. I'm a pretty big fan. It seems like the devs mostly knew the way. Thank you. Yeah, you can all applaud now. That joke was fantastic.